The Master Tavern Keeper's History of the Old World. And so, then, my shipmate, the dwarf Drogar, told me all about his experiences with the boats of the Blue Face Orcs out on the Black Gulf. The Boyer's Brew Tavern, Salkalton, in the year 1551 of the Imperial calendar. You what? You were captured by the Blue Face Orcs out in the Black Gulf? I didn't even know greenskins could, sail.
Keep it down, lad. You don't know who's eavesdropping in this place. I've not drunk in such an eclectic den of scum and villainy since we left, Norden. Best be cautious.
Ah, sorry. Good point. Yes. Anyway, so you were saying, you got captured by the greenskins.
I did, lad. Not just me, most of my crew too. Our boat, an old Gazan Harbark, had become becalmed. Not a zephyr of wind blew, and we were all preparing to uncouple the old rotary sail and man the oars when...
The Black Gulf, 1476.
Valia's braids, what is that noise? Look, Captain, off starboard. It came from those floating wooden mounds of timber. Those are no mounds of timber, Marine. Those are Orc boats, and they're coming right for us. Incoming! Prepare to repulse the... The captain was the first to die, an arrow piercing him through the neck and throwing us all into disarray.
By Ranald's dice? You were attacked by orc boats? What are their boats even like? I cannot even try to picture such a thing.
Then count your blessings, lad. We were attacked by 7 of the blighted vessels. And the 4th was one of their great hulks. These are the largest of the Orc boats, and they're a terrifying mess to behold, lad. The one I saw that day was more like a floating fortress than a ship, and it was only really its big animal hide sail that made it easily identifiable as a boat. I saw a few others during my captivity, and the design of each varied quite a bit, but each possessed the same big sail. Personally, I think half the reason they're there is sure enough to help the thing move along, but the real reason is to let everyone know that this is the Hulk boss's boat. Each is more often than not adorned with a large grinning glyph, you see.
Ah, I do. But I'm sorry, Drogar. What's a Hulk boss, if you don't mind me asking?
Of course I don't mind, lad, but the clue's in the name. They're the boss, the captain of their Hulk, and thus the other littler ships about them. They're always the biggest and the baddest amongst all the Orcs thereabouts, and powerful warriors. Of course, they're no match for a Dowie. Their ships, on the other hand, are another matter altogether, though. The hulk we encountered that day was enormous. Like a bunch of siege towers, haphazardly nailed together, that somehow remained afloat. I remember thinking it a languid and noisy thing. Upon the deck we could see a huge horde of frothing at the mouth Orc warriors, screaming like the frenzied Ungi thralls of one of the dark gods, each eager to have at us. But that wasn't the only sound. Beneath their jeering and screaming, we could hear the clanking of metal on metal and the grinding of rusty gears and cogs. We dowie have an ear for such things, don't you know? The bawling Orc voices weren't confined to the deck, lad. Up high they had parapets atop rickety towers from which more green faces leered and shouted. These were spotters for the nearby stone-throwing catapults that the Orcs had set up on elevated platforms. Around each of these truckers, as the Orcs called them, were a crew of half a dozen, kept busy by a bully armed with a fat blade, a long whip, and a short temper. During the first part of my captivity, after they found my legs were too short for me to be of use in the treadwheel at the back of the boat, the Orcs used me to smash up rocks for a month or so, before transferring me to one of the other boats. They chained me up underneath one of the catapult platforms. I'd break 'em up, and then an old troll would put 'em onto a conveyor belt that fed the rocks into the war machine up top. But lad, these were not the things that did us in and got us captured. No. It were the iron claws and the hulk's smash hammer that did that.
I'm sorry, Drogar. The what?
Well, lad, at the front of each hulk, they've at least one, sometimes more, 4-pronged grapnels. These they can fire out to grab onto opposing ships and then drag 'em in, just like we harpoon whales here in the Sea of Claws.
The Black Gulf, 1476.
The captain is dead!
Don't panic! Don't panic! Don't panic! Don't panic!
Got it, cabin beardling old fag! Look at me! Look at me! I'm the captain now! Incoming!
Valia's tassels, what is that?
It looks like a grapnel anchor, beardling. Ooh. And now it looks like they're gonna reel us in.
And so, then they had only to board you and take you all...
No, not so fast, lad. The Orc brain doesn't work like that. If there is a way to make something less efficient, but far more destructive, then their toddler-like minds will go that route. Something we saw firsthand as our boat fell under the shadow of their smash hammer.
The Black Gulf, 1476. Captain, they've almost finished reeling us in.
Aye, Beardlin, which means we get to give 'em what for. And, finally, we get to see what, by Grimnir's beard, that large hammer-like thing at the prow is. got the stunties now. Smash them with the hammer. Smash, smash, smash.
Ugh, but Septimus, can I just stop you there for a moment? What in Zunki's Great Pond is a smash hammer? I don't quite get it. Ah, well, Master Alchemist, at the prow, the very front of pretty much every Orc Hulk, is a large, oft-rusted, iron-headed hammer. Each is extremely heavy, and through their sheer weight alone, they're able to sink even large ships, such as a Bretonnian galleon or an Imperial greatship, at least when brought to bear against such vessels. Oh, yeah, so these Orc Hulks are like fishermen. They reel in their folly, and then they bash them over the head. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Yes, exactly. But, there is a bit more of a history to the smash hammer. Drogar told me all about it whilst we were waiting there for his brother Drogor to arrive.